Okay, time for a sketchbook tour, I guess. I finally finished up this one. Started it from May 2016 to October, Volume 1. And I drew this on... I didn't use stickers because this is like a canvasy material and it wouldn't stick. I also used watercolors in this book, and yeah, I don't know what type of sketchbook this is because my dad got a few of these from a storage unit, and I got like 3 of them, so this is what it's supposed to look like. I kind of, yeah, busted it. Anyway, yeah, let's start. On this side, I wrote what stuff I need to probably improve on, and yeah, what I needed to practice. And so first one is my persona, in a doodle kind of thing. This sketchbook is not special at all. It like bleeds through the paper, so I only could draw on one side. This is car practice. Also, there's a stain on the bottom of the book, but I was like, I'm going to use it anyway. Who cares? So yeah, this is car practice. I used really cruddy markers that were running out of ink. This is a storage unit place. I was bored in the car waiting for my dad, so I drew things that I saw around. More car practice, etc. This is comic practice. I want to do a different... Since I'm working on the comic by myself, I wanted to come up with a way to make it go faster, so I'm trying experiments with different ways of how to do that in this book. And this one is no shading, just black and white, and yeah, this probably isn't the best way to do it because it did take a little longer than I wanted it to. But yeah, this is when I first got my Pentel brush pen, and so I was playing with it. And yeah, I played with my Pentel brush pen again, but I did a pencil background, and then I used some Prisma markers for some shade, color, whatever. I like how that one looks. This is my persona. I was doing clothing material folding practice. This is my persona with my cat. And yeah, I used the Prismacolor markers on it again, and yeah, inked in background. Wanted to see how it would look if I shaded with it. It still takes a while, so I was like, maybe. This is one of my dark elf characters from a comic that I would like to work on someday. So yeah, I used the Prismacolor markers, and I shaded it with the markers, and then I did a pencil background, and then I used watercolors to see how that would look if I used that for a background, and it makes the character pop out a lot, so I like how that is starting to look. Yeah, I needed more ab practice, because sometimes I guess. This is more comic practice. This is my character Pikes. I wanted to see what it would look like if everything was inked in and then I shaded everything with watercolor. Yeah. I wanted to see how I should do night and day scenes with markers, shading, and then maybe watercolors. I was like, still undecided. But then I liked how I did the nighttime thing for this one. A wash of watercolor on pencil, and the sky background is like completely dark. And this is my character Pikes. This is just a retarded doodle of my brother and myself. This is when I first watched that stupid I'm a banana video on YouTube. So I'm like, I have to draw something. Stupid things stuck in my head. This is fan art for that Gotham show. I didn't draw him great, but this is the Penguin. I like him because he's very fashionable. I didn't like the Penguin before this show. I was like, ooh, he's so pretty. Anyway, this is cartoon practice for a comic that I'd like to work on after my Death Chicken comic. This is a toony kind of style. Yeah. This is Sans and Papyrus. This is when I first got my Dr. P.H. Martin watercolors. Oh my goodness, I'm going off screen. So, yeah, just in case you didn't see that. But yeah, this is fan art, of course, and I was practicing with my watercolors. It looks like marker, so that's cool. This is the same as this one back here, but I wanted to draw it in a creepy style with a ballpoint pen and whatnot. And this is kind of a more of a sad mood. I wanted to mix watercolors with cheap markers and put water on it and see how it would blend or bleed, whatever. I have an outdoor cat named Nabby, and she has like this bi-foot kind of thing. She's bi-footed. And she has like 6 toes, and her nails are growing out in weird places, and sometimes she has 1 thumb and 2 nails are growing out of one. She has neat feet, so I had to draw them. Goat anatomy. I took pictures of my goats. They're kind of older pictures, and then I went back and I was looking through them, and I was like, I'll draw some of these. So, goat anatomy. This is a gouache test. I bought some gouache for myself, and I was testing out the medium. This is my persona and one of my goats again. And yeah, this I'm gonna have to play with it again because it's a weird medium. It's like a mixture between acrylic paint and watercolor. Very strange. This year my sister got married, so I sketched out a little something in my book. I put a paper on this drawing because I think I made his head a bit too small. Anyway, their love was like a lovebird pretzel kind of thing, so I doodled that out like twice. Also, draft practice. I have like a bunch of super old gray Neo Pico markers, so I'm like, I'm gonna use them in this sketchbook, use them up, and they don't like ballpoint pen. They like to bleed the ballpoint pen, so the marker gets darker when you run it over. It can create a neat effect in some places, and it could mess you up, but that's what I have my whiteout pen and white gel pen for. Tudor houses, because I like how Tudor houses look. House practice, perspective practice. These are my kitties, Aslan and Twilight, colored in with colored pencil, ballpoint pen. These are 2 characters. This one's my friend Ken's Arcane. He has like no neck or limbs apart from his suit and head. And this is one of my characters. He's Mr. Lolly. He's a lollipop king guy. Anyway, these are feet practice. I went to my backyard and I used my watercolors to practice drawing trees. These are oak trees. More guy anatomy practice. I mostly drew this because of the underarm of the guy. It's really hard to find drawings with the underarm view. I always guess and mess up when I draw the underarm because I don't really know what it looks like. So yeah. This was like a park scene from a picture that I found online that I liked. I tried redrawing it, but not as successful as making it look pretty. Colored pencil, Sharpie, ballpoint pen. Meh, it was practice, so there. This is gun practice. I needed more practice drawing people holding guns, so that's what I did here. This, I was kind of stumped of what to draw this day because I was like, what should I draw? I haven't drawn anything in a while in this book. So I just drew out little doodle shapes and then filled them in of what they might have looked like. I don't know. And they turned out to be really, really weird things. Truck practice. I suck at drawing trucks. I need more truck practice. Coming up with a simple Plug Doctor doll design. I ended up liking this one the most. More weird doodle shape things. I was bored, didn't know what to draw. Yeah, this was the shape, as you can see, and I was like, I don't know what to draw in this shape, so I drew out of the shape. It looks rather weird, but it works, I suppose. This one, more comic practice. I wanted to see what it would look like if I didn't shade the character at all. More black and white, and yeah, pencil background. I hate drawing backgrounds, and pencil backgrounds, I like how they look better than when I ink them in and finalize it. So I might go that route, and it's faster too. So, also this idea, these are my cats and me. I was thinking of buying a backpack or building something so I could take my cats out of the house more often, so they could explore the world. But I'm still thinking about it. I just don't like seeing them cooped up in the house all the time. So. My brother had a heavy weapons figure, so I was like, I'll draw it, because I don't know what to draw. So I drew him. And as you can see, my book is busted. I need to put more glue on that. But anyway, this is I guess a building kind of scenery practice. I used a reference for this, a photo reference. This is when I first got my Amazepins. I was going to record this and make this my video for it, but I was like, I don't like how it looks. So this was my first test. And this was my Amazepins test, the final one. Yeah. I made a video, you could see it on my YouTube. These are little tiny houses. I like tiny houses. I could watch hours of these videos and waste my life away. So I drew some because I like them. Gray foxes. I made a video for this as well. You could see that on my YouTube channel. More car practice. Sharpies, Neopico markers, ballpoint pen. More goat practice. Neopico markers, ballpoint pen. I made a video. This is one of my goats. Yeah. Bird practice, owl practice. I needed more practice with wings and feathers. I like owls. They're so cute. Torso practice. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing when I draw a torso, so I need to remind myself. So that's what this is for. Horse anatomy practice. I always forget the muscles and stuff, and the hooves connected to the leg. Sometimes I draw it terribly. I need to remind myself. These are quaggas, or should I say zebras that are being bred to look like quaggas. The stripes are disappearing. I used reference for that. This is Aaron from the Undertale game. I just thought it was so funny when I first saw that he flexed off screen. And I could only imagine how that would look, so I just I drew it. More comic practice. Pentel brush pen, pencil background, a little bit of watercolor shading, and shading on the character with the watercolor. I like how it looks and it goes fast, so I'm probably going to lean in this direction. Anyway, Komodo Dragons. I need more lizard practice. They have like neat skin wrinkles, so yeah. More comic practice without the panels. I wanted to pop out the character from the background with watercolor and stuff. Yeah, more comic practice. This is my Bunny Man character. I drew a short comic for him and posted it on the computer. DeviantArt, he could find it there. Yeah, I was thinking like black in the sky, a wash for the background, pencil background, ink in the character with my Pentel brush. But I need more practice. Same thing, but if it was daytime, I drew a chibi. My Sharpie was running out, so I drew a little thing right there. Baggy clothing practice. I saw these pictures and I was like, I'll draw them. Sure, why not? So I thought they were pretty. Plague Doctor head designs for some dolls that I might make. More bird practice, wing designs, feather practice, I mean, bird practice in general. More bird practice. Sometimes birds have their feet in weird poses. And the feathers, I needed to practice with those, how they're laid out on the head. From my imagination, I scribbled up a dragon. Or at least a dragon head. This is another dragon, a Cthulhu dragon, like dragon, yes. Oops, I skipped ahead. Monster creature. I like drawing monsters. This is another monster. Yeah, monsters are fun. I just like pointy teeth and making them look creepy. I don't know why. This started out as a hand, and like after I drew the hand part, I was like, I'm bored with this already, so I'm gonna turn it into a snake, and then I did. So, this is my kitty Aslan. I drew it when I made my shaved Aslan video. You can find it on my YouTube. I started drawing angels because my mom was complaining to me, stop drawing demons in church. So I was like, fine, I'll draw some angels. So this is my first angel. I drew it in church. Yeah. So another week went by and I drew another angel. Sometimes I don't draw all the time in my sketchbook, so it takes a while to fill up. This is a monster. I did not draw this in church. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty neat, nice and creepy. Monster practice for a comic that I'm thinking about working on next after Death Chicken, so. Yeah. Another angel. I wanted to kind of give that Bayonetta feel to these angels. They're always neat and creepy looking. This I live streamed. This is Tessa for Chirutai. It's a Patreon reward. This is an oil pastel experiment. I kind of said that it was a moon. Anyway, what shades with pastel best is mineral spirits. It's not stinky, and yeah, it's pretty neat looking. I'll have to play around with it again. It doesn't bleed through the paper either, so. I was waiting for my brother's car to get smog checked, and I was waiting in the car, and I was bored, so I drew up a creature. This is like a turtle, snake, lizard thing. Another one of those bored days, so I drew something. Used a reference for these guys, needed more spider tarantula practice. One of my friends asked me to draw a cute fluffy dog, so I'm like, okay, so I drew some dogs, and they're fluffy, but they also look pretty obese. So that didn't work out very well. I drew these from my head. So I looked up a fluffy dog and I drew it from the picture, and that's a fluffy, non-obese dog. And I decided to break the cute dog thing, and I just drew a creepy dog. This was more comic practice. I wanted to play with perspective. I saw someone use a string instead of a ruler, and they stretched it out and they drew with their pencil along with the string. And I thought that was neat, so I wanted to try it too. Another Sunday, so another angel. Gave her a lot of faces. This is a Pookum. It's a creature I made up that I turned into dolls once upon a time. I was thinking of redesigning their hands because the other dolls, they just had clay fingers that I'd glue with fabric glue, but it would still kind of pop off if you bumped it into something. So I was thinking of probably improving that somehow. But yeah, that's only if I decide to make them again. Alright, I started October in this book, but I did not complete it, so I wanted to do that Inktober thing, but I didn't want to spend so much time on it, so it's more like Doodletober. So I just doodle little monsters and weird things in here. So this is the first 3 days. This is the next 3 days. One of my friends was sick, so I drew one of her, their characters, and yeah. The next 2 days, this is my character Pikes again. I'm not sure if her face is going to look like that without her mask on. This is just a Halloween thing. I haven't fully decided it, so it's still, yeah, I'm still deciding. Alright, this, I drew a hand. I felt like drawing a hand, and then I just kind of added to it. Turns out to be some sort of cat beast boy. Yeah. Next 3 days, my persona, some weird stuff, Bowser. I like Bowser. Yes, next 3 days, I doodled up one of my friend's characters, Tetsu. Belongs to Michi. Yeah. I don't know what to draw sometimes, so I asked my brother, like, what should I draw for today? And he's like, Bomberman. I'm like, okay. There's Bomberman. And this is a deer picture that I recorded but accidentally deleted because I was stupid. So I drew another deer picture a few pages away from this. Next 3 days, I like how that one looks. That would look like a nice sticker or something. So yeah. This is a lion, horse, dragon thing that I doodled up in church. Yeah. It looks neat. Didn't turn out so bad. I drew quite a few of these chibis the next few pages because the recording software kept messing up the sound. I got double sound, so I had to redo it. Yeah. So this is one, Spade. This is another one of my characters, Lucy. That messed up too, which was sad because that was cute. And this one succeeded because I recorded it with this camera. Yeah. Next 3 days. These are fun. I like how they look. Here's my other deer picture that I succeeded not deleting it like a doof. So, yeah, deer anatomy practice. Live streamed this for Patreon supporters. They get a sketch request. So, this belongs to a Madame X Hatter on DeviantArt. She asked for her character Dollflesh, so I drew. And this belongs to Chirutai. She's a half-demon character. She didn't turn out too bad. And this is a character from a Helldriver game, I'm guessing, for Rising Phoenix 911. It was interesting and armor-ish practice. Next 3 days, and I think this is the last 3 days that I could fit in this book. The beetle guy was fun. I drew this for my friend Zach. It's one of his characters because he was on the stream, but I didn't get a chance to get to his sketch request, so I drew him for one of my Inktober days. And this is the last page. I drew a cockatrice, so which is a chicken with a scorpion-like tail. So I thought that'd be a fun one to end the sketchbook on. So that's it. Hope everyone enjoyed this. Till next time, I guess, which is going to take a while.